Well, hello everyone and welcome back to the Great War, Total War. Today we have a US siege assault. So this will probably be set in 1918, so toward the end of the war, the US has sent troops over onto the mainland of Europe. The Germans are being pushed back on all fronts now, and they're holding up in a town here. They are heavily outnumbered against the US forces. We're going to see who will win. As the Germans do have a fairly good defensive position, they can retreat into the town if they want to, and this is where they've stationed their artillery today. So they've got their artillery nice and safe behind the lines, firing down onto the US troops. Now, the US... Oh god, the guy went flying. The US are having to attack through open ground here, and they're also being sniped at the minute as well. We've got a few of the German snipers. Pew 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 pew. So, jeez. So, you guys did absolutely amazingly, guys and gals. I asked for 200 likes. You gave me 300 likes in 2 hours. That's freaking mental. So, let's try and do that again. Let's try and get 200 likes, and then I'll record another video of the Great War. So, your support really is just astounding on these videos. I know the siege battle, which I uploaded last week, has now reached over 500. So, man, when I see that kind of support on these videos, it just makes me want to keep recording these. So, yeah. And I'm trying to think of a bit of interesting scenarios, kind of related to real battles that might have happened during the war. So, we're just going to see how we get on today. So, we have a few units of conscripts, as, you know, a lot of US troops would have been fairly... They're not really veteran troops, if they've just entered the war. We do actually have some decent troops, though. We've got some National Guard in the US forces today. A lot of them look fairly similar. More National Guard over here, more National Guard over here. They also have some Marines, the US famous Marines, in their green uniforms here. So the US assault kind of comes staggered. Reconnaissance infantry, ready to go in. But it looks like the first unit to attack the lines is a unit of reconnaissance infantry. And they're taking heavy fire from artillery, and they're also being attacked by a unit of conscripts. At this stage, kind of late in the war, even the Germans were kind of struggling to field, you know, huge armies of veteran troops, because a lot of the vets would have been killed over the past 4 years. But we do have some really good infantry here today. We've got a unit of, where are they? Stormtroopers here. I know we have a unit of the Old Guard somewhere as well. I'm not sure where they're at this time. Stormtroopers here, conscripts, stormtroopers, Old Guard, here we go. So, they look mightily impressive. But anyway, we have some engagements now. So, the reconnaissance infantry are attacking. We also have a unit of Marines. And you can see the Marines are just giving a world of hurt to the conscripts. And I'm also trying to garrison a couple of buildings at this stage as well. As we're being forced back on this front, the conscripts are getting absolutely screwed against another unit of conscripts. So we've got some Alpenkorps though, so these would have been up in the mountains, but now they're back in a traditional battle. Okay, so we've occupied a couple of buildings to try and hold this flank. And the situation... I'm playing as the Germans, by the way. This is hence why it's kind of from this kind of perspective. So we're firing in on the conscripts now. Also firing from the buildings here. Lots of... Oh my god. Damage, 857%. So that... Oh, yeah. That was a direct hit from the US artillery. That was powerful. So I reckon if the troops stay in there, they're going to perish. Oh my god. Yep. Yep, they're all dead. Oh, jeez. So that was a precision shot from the US field guns over here. If I could actually get over there. Yeah, so those field guns, blimey, they just took out an entire unit. Okay, so here we go. US Marines are kind of forcing back our position now. And I'm slowly moving my forces back. These are going to hold for a little while longer. We do have anti-tank snipers, not that there's any tanks in this battle. And I'm starting to withdraw men from this main line, kind of further into the settlement. So here we have the old guard trying to hold this if they need to. So some more conscripts moving in. National Guard coming in here. What? So, as you can see, their attack is coming very staggered. If they'd have just launched all their forces in one go, they probably would have just simply overwhelmed me. But here, as they're coming piecemeal, it does give me a bit of a chance. Not a huge one, mind you, because, you know, I'm outnumbered very heavily. And, yeah, we'll see what happens. But the US are bringing up quite a lot of troops, and quite quickly actually, although this unit of reconnaissance infantry, I can't see they're making much of a difference in the battle anymore. I actually see the artillery is just creating another no man's land, really. We created one outside the town. But here we go, they're firing in. I'm pretty much withdrawing all my troops that were out there. So I positioned them kind of, I thought, fairly strategically, as I knew they need to come through here. It would have been better to position them here, where I've got this unit of SMG German infantry. Okay. So yeah, that unit's absolutely destroyed. This unit of conscripts is taking a lot of fire as they retreat. Sorry, rival infantry, they're not even conscript. Blimey, I was wasting this unit. And I think that's a bit of a bug, because they're meant to be running. Run! This is no time to do a slow man walk. Yeah, seriously, guys, run. Some of you, these guys have waken up to it. They're thinking, I'm not doing this stupid joke of a run. I think they're just glitching. Oh, so if you have any ideas for any scenarios for future battles on the Great War, do let me know, as that'll be very interesting to see what you guys can come up with. Also, if you play this mod and you've got an interesting replay, send it to me, and I'm more than happy to commentate over it. So that'd be quite interesting. So, let's take a look. So the US forces are still kind of coming into the battle, still arraying for marching orders, I guess. More National Guard, tons of National Guard coming in. So here we have the general, the US general. What? At the rear, they've still got their field guns firing. So let's see what's going on at the front. So yeah, the US Marines with their SMGs have devastated a unit. Wow. Yeah, this just jeez. I'm still kind of holding this front here, but as you can see, the amount of men coming forward, it's only a matter of time before we get pushed back. I think I lost both of those units. I'm not sure. I might have withdrew, actually. I might have withdrew a unit and positioned them in here. So that's where the Alpen Corps are going to hold. With some good firing positions. So we have a fight going on here between, who are you? Rival infantry. And then we also have some conscripts. But the conscripts are actually forcing them back.
We've taken a building, sir.
So there we go. The anti-tank snipers trying to hold off the advancing US forces, trying to take out a few of those SMG Marines, so I can actually bring up some reinforcements and hopefully try and push them back. Now, the US did actually have a unit of flamethrowers, however, they kind of, that was almost the first unit to reach the lines, so they got decimated, so I can't really show the flamethrowers, which is a shame. Here we go, trench gunners coming in.
Our men are running.
Stormtroopers with my SMGs. So here we're going to get pushed back, just taking under a lot of fire from the conscripts. In fact, they've kind of routed that flank. So we're getting pushed further and further into the town now, but I can't really move back beyond the artillery. This is where I'm going to try and make a stand. And hopefully, you know, the balance of power isn't in my favour, but it's not too far-fetched. So we've got the SMG infantry firing into the ranks of the conscripts. Taking huge losses here. So the Marines are going in. And they're actually going to engage in melee. So it's US Marines versus Stormtroopers. And on this occasion, it looks like the Stormtroopers are getting the upper hand. Okay, so the US are amassing a huge amount of troops here, so I think the artillery fire is starting to be directed onto them. So we've got some Marines pushing up, National Guard, snipers also pushing up, conscripts, National Guard. So they've got a huge, huge amount of troops still in play today. Not sure what these guys are doing, just chilling out at the minute. Although they're pretty much safe, although you will get a few pot shots coming through there. And this unit of SMG infantry is still just charging. It's like they've gone berserk. They're just charging straight into the US lines, and you can see their morale's pretty good. They're not routing. It's pretty crazy. There's only 10 of them left. Oh god, men go flying. There we go, so the Stormtroopers still actually killing a few US troops here. Okay, so here we have Stormtroopers. Again, another unit of the SMGs. Ready to hold the line here. Bloody hell, look at this. So with the combined SMG and artillery firing down into the US positions, this makes it a bit kind of more tricky for them to assault. Because they are getting blasted here. So the National Guard, are they going to try and go in? No, they're just falling as they charge. And then the Stormtroopers are going to go in hand to hand. Because at this point, I'm starting to run low on troops. And I didn't think to bring any machine guns with me, which is a bit of an error. So even the generals are trying to like take pot shots through here with their pistols. No resistance anymore on this flank whatsoever. I've kind of still got the Alpenkorps up there, but more to just try and hold the flank. Here, they're just pushing firmly in the centre. And we are routing some troops. Over here, it's not a whole lot that's going on. I mean, we've taken pot shots, exchanging a little bit of fire. Ah, yeah, my infantry, my cavalry, I forgot to show you that bit. So I tried to send them around, trying a bit of a flanking manoeuvre, but they just got decimated. So that's the story of them. We've got Stormtroopers SMGs trying to withdraw because they did continue their charge. So yeah, it's not really. They've lost like half their troops in that charge, so if I can get them aligned in their position again, then hopefully we might be able to do okay. Here we go. Opening fire on the trench gunners. But we're being assaulted again, so they have to go in for a melee charge. Just try and hold the line. You can see that bodies stacked upon each other. This is just... Taking a screenshot. They're fighting over their dead comrades. It's probably hampering their charges as well. So I imagine some of these people would have still been alive. They just can't move. And are the US actually going to fire into their own ranks here? No, they're not. Okay. But they have SMG infantry. And at this stage, I'm getting pretty desperate. I don't have a whole lot left to hold the line. We've got stormtroopers still to hold. And I see, yeah, they're going in for a charge. Mainly because I can't take a lot of fire from those SMG Marines. So they will just decimate my ranks. So I figured a charge would be better than just standing there exchanging fire, because I would lose that engagement very heavily. So here we've got some US moving through, I guess searching the buildings to make sure no one's, you know, being sneaky. Sneaking around.
The entire unit is dead, sir.
Fighting in the ruins of a building. Fighting over their dead comrades. This is just... Got to take a screenshot. To be fair, I've been pretty restrained. I tried to take them when I was playing the battle, so yeah. Hopefully you won't hear too many more paching, paching. Because I know it does get annoying for a lot of you. Okay, so here we go. Still exchanging fire. Well, I'm just trying to hold them here, and I brought this unit of Old Guard to start, well, firing at any US troops they feel they're confident at hitting. Over here, I'm starting to bring troops around. And I think we're going to go in for a charge. At this point, I was getting pretty desperate, so I figured the only way to try and wreck their morale was to do just charges into their lines. So rifle infantry versus Marines. I'm not too sure of how this engagement is going to go, but I don't think it's going to go well. So here we go. So the Old Guard are now engaged in hand-to-hand combat. So they're fresh, and they're winning decisively at the minute, but, you know, they are losing a lot of troops. Going up against conscripts, though, they probably will go their way. And it appears I was redirecting my artillery fire in a desperate attempt to, oh my god, to rout the US troops. But that had an adverse effect. Jeez! Oh my god. What have I done? What have I done? Just men are going flying all over the places. Oh. Horrors of war. Oh, we're taking fire from their field guns as well. So the Old Guard still trying to hold, although they're below half their number now. I think it's actually about a third of their number, so it's not going to go well for them, so it's not. Oh, they had some Buffalo soldiers in there as well. So they're cavalry. Okay, so we have like a pretty final last offensive line of the Germans with the Alpenkorps. Here we do have a couple of units of infantry. Well, I say a couple, more like one unit. And I'm going to have to redirect my snipers. Yeah, the reconnaissance infantry just going to go around and completely flank me now. So, Alpen Corps, pretty much the final unit to try and hold the centre. And they begin to charge forward, the US Marines, taking up firing positions. And at this stage, you know, it's only going to go one way for the Germans. Even though the balance of power, still not too much out of my favour. I think mainly because I've got my probably a slightly better artillery than them. But yeah, they're bringing in the SMGs, which is just bad news for me. So the General and the Alpen Corps are going in for a final huzzah. Buildings collapsing around them as they charge into their deaths. And then with that, I died. Rambler is dead. And the USA is now completely and utterly routing the final units. So even the artillery is trying to get in hand to hand now. These guys, they're just like, nah. So, yeah, the Germans forced to withdraw late in the war. And this is, I imagine, was pretty typical of most fronts for the Germans. At least on, yeah. So they're just being pushed back across the board. We do have a German charge here. But it's probably going to be too little too late. They still have fresh troops just walking into battle now. Over here, the artillery still somehow holding on. I think I said that rather prematurely. No, yeah, they're gone. So the general unit still holding on despite the general actually dying. These two units fighting bravely, but let's just speed this up a bit because it's only, yeah, it is inevitable.
All hope is lost, sir. This battle is almost done.
Indeed, sir. Germans completely and utterly routed and decimated. And the US Army can keep on their push. So, I hope you enjoyed the battle. If you did, please be sure to leave a like. Let's try and get to that 200 goal target. If you've got any ideas for scenarios, please do let me know. Let's take a little look at how well some of the German troops did. So 315 kills from the Alpen Corps. 330 from the Old Guard. 346 from the Rifle Infantry. And the SMGs did great as well. So there we go. Until next time, everyone, I bid you a very, very good day.